Started, so let's start. So today's topic for the lecture is microbial growth kinetics. The reference book is Stanberry. Okay. So what do I mean by growth? I mean the increase in the number of cells by volume and by number. Okay. So growth per se would mean that I have a culture which is increasing in its size as well as in numbers. And now, when I want to grow these organisms, I can grow them either using a batch culture, which is this, or by using a pet batch culture or a continuous culture. Okay. So, when we talk about, say, for example, growth, a typical microbial culture in a batch condition will give me a growth curve like this. Okay. When I have my x-axis as time and my y-axis as log of biomass concentration. Okay. So this earlier phase, the first phase is my lag phase. When the number starts increasing, it is my log phase or exponential phase. Then I have a simple curvature here which is called as deceleration phase, and then I have finally stationary phase where my number of organisms alive is equal to the number of organisms that are dying. That is why there is no growth seen, and therefore you will have a straight line here. Okay. So whenever we talk about, say, growth kinetics, we have to remember this diagram here for batch processes. Okay, so how do I describe my kinetics is this. For growth kinetics, we have to see the growth phase of the bacteria, which is my log phase or exponential phase. Okay. Generally, when we talk about the kinetics of any system, we look at to how the organism is growing, at what time it is growing, what is the doubling rate, what is the generation time, etc. And all these terms you will find only here, which is my log or exponential phase. Okay. So henceforth, we will be talking about only the log or exponential phase. Okay. So this phase can be described by equation, which is my dx by dt is equal to mu x, where x is the concentration of biomass, t is the time in hours, and mu is the specific growth rate in per hours. Okay. So what I am doing is I am comparing my number of cells with respect to time. मतलब हर 10 मिनट में कितने number of organisms बढ़ रहे हैं. That is what my equation gives. My equation is dx by dt is equal to mu x. This is a differential equation. So what do? I integrate this equation and get xt is equal to x0 e raised to mu t. Okay. Now x0 in this case is my original biomass concentration. xt is the biomass concentration after, say, time interval t, and e is the base of the natural log. Okay. So what basically here we are doing is कि अगर ओरिजिनली मेरे सिस्टम में से 10 to the power 3 ऑर्गेनिजम्स थे जो कि यहाँ है, तो से 20 मिनट के बाद मेरे सिस्टम में कितने नंबर ऑफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स होंगे, ये प्रेडिक्ट करने के लिए वी आर यूजिंग दिस इक्वेशन विच इज xt is equal to x0 e raised to mu t. Okay. Now since we have an e here, we have to take natural log on both the sides so that we will get an answer to it, plus we will be able to draw a graph. So on taking natural log on both the sides, which is my ln, so here instead of xt, I write ln xt is equal to ln x0 plus mu t, where my mu is the specific growth rate in per hours. Okay. Now if I go on to plot a graph of natural log of biomass concentration versus time, I will get a straight line. For example, if I plot a graph like this, and this. Okay. So My x-axis is going to be time. The time can be in minutes or in hours. And my y-axis is going to be natural log of cell concentration, okay? Which is my ln xt, which is this. Sorry. This one. Biomass concentration ln x0 versus time will give me a straight line, okay? A straight line like this from 0, okay? And using this, I can calculate the slope of this entire system, where my slope is equal to mu. What is mu? Mu is the
Specific growth rate.
specific growth rate,
Specific growth R is
right? So this is my specific growth rate, okay, per hour. If I'm talking about per hour, my time is going to be in hours. If I'm talking about specific growth rate per minute, then my x-axis is going to be time per in minutes, okay? So why do all these things? Any ideas? Anybody? Speak up. इतना झमेला क्यों करना है? Yes. See, basically, what happens is when you go into an industry, there you need to predict कि अगर इसका growth rate इतना है, X number of time के बाद कितना number of cells होगा, या उसका cell cycle का timing क्या है. So for all this, we need to have this equation ready, so that I can find out कि after say 10 minutes in time, अगर original मेरा 10 to the power से 6 cells है, उसका mu से 2 है, तो मेरा xt कितना होगा, so that I can predict the difference in the variables that is going to happen during the batch process. Okay. Now this graph here is majorly for bacterial cultures. Okay. Spore forming या non spore forming थोड़ा सा differ होगा, but otherwise all over and all this is for bacterial cultures. Okay. What happens when you have animal or plant cell in suspension cultures? If you have animal and plant cells in suspension cultures, they will behave as unicellular microorganisms only. However, it becomes difficult when you have what we call as mycelial organisms. Okay. So when I have, say, mycelial organisms, okay, thickness is too much. So when I have mycelial organisms, there is a change in the growth pattern. Why? Because उनका जो growth pattern है वो अलग है. Like for example, fungi. So what will happen? The first phase I have, if I have to make a batch culture, the first thing that I will add is a spore, right? The second thing that will happen after the spore is germination, right? The third thing that is going to happen is the formation of fungi or vegetative cell. Let us say fungi. It is going to have a hypha, a spore sac, and lots of fungal hyphae as well, and a stalk. And finally, what will be the fourth stage is the spore sac is going to burst. Okay, burst. And you have more spores and the cycle repeats. Okay. In case of bacteria, I have one single step, which is binary fission. Or as we call it multiplication or duplication, correct? So when in a closed system, there are so many different phases going on. The viscosity of the medium changes. Okay. With the change in the viscosity of the medium, the amount of available nutrients change. ठीक है, मतलब अगर ज्यादा विस्कस हुआ लिक्विड तो न्यूट्रिएंट सप्लाई धीरे होता है या स्लो होता है. अगर विस्कोसिटी कम है तो न्यूट्रिएंट एक्सचेंज ज्यादा होता है. सेम विद द ऑक्सीजन कंटेंट. ओके, इन केस ऑफ अ क्लोज्ड सिस्टम फॉर बैक्टीरिया, only one step, that is binary fission, that is doubling. So as a result, the viscosity doesn't change much. Therefore, all the parameters of the fermentation process remain same. But in case of fungi, with all these things happening, the viscosity keeps on changing and the parameters for the growth keep on changing, or the availability of nutrients and oxygen change. Okay. Now, what happens is when this thing is going on, you cannot have a straight simple curve for growth. Okay. So therefore, Plomelli suggested that filamentous fungi have a growth unit which is replicated at a constant rate and is composed of apex of the hypha and a short length of supporting hypha. Okay, so what they came up with is called as a growth unit. Okay. Trincy demonstrated that the total hyphal length of the mycelium and the number of tips increased exponentially at approximately the same rate. मतलब क्या कि अगर मुझे मेरा फंजाई ड्रॉ करना है, so let us draw a fungi. Okay, so this is kind of my fungi. Okay, this is the spore sac, this is the stalk, and these are the mycelia, right, which embed into any solid support, or if you have a liquid medium, they are going to entangle with one another and spread the fungi, correct? Now what these people said was कि इस stalk का length और ये number of tips mycelia के जो है वो एक certain rate के साथ increase होते हैं. For example, अगर मेरा mycelia जो है 1 सेंटीमीटर पर मिनट के हिसाब से बढ़ रहा है, तो मेरा जो ये नंबर ऑफ हाइफल टिप्स है वो से फॉर एग्जाम्पल 2 पर मिनट के हिसाब से बढ़ेगा. मतलब टाइम 0 पे स्टॉक लेंथ 1 सेंटीमीटर, नंबर ऑफ हाइफी 2. 2 मिनट्स में स्टॉक लेंथ 2 सेंटीमीटर, टोटल नंबर ऑफ हाइफी 4. 3 मिनट्स में स्टॉक लेंथ 3 सेंटीमीटर और नंबर ऑफ हाइफी 6. सो ये जो रेट है ये कांस्टेंट है. सो दैट इज व्हाट दिस साइंटिस्ट बाय द नेम ऑफ ट्रिंसी demonstrated. Okay, so thus when the volume of the hyphal growth unit exceeds a critical volume, a new branch and hence a new growing point is initiated. This is equivalent to division of single cell when the cell reaches a critical volume. Okay, now when I have to predict such a system जिसमें 3 अलग अलग वेरिएबल्स है. ओके, सो पहला वेरिएबल क्या है मेरा? द फर्स्ट वेरिएबल दैट आई हैव इज द hyphal mass. The second variable is the length, and the third variable here is number of tips. So all these variables have to be taken into consideration, while we do the growth kinetics. Okay, so what is the equation? The first equation is dx by dt is equal to mu x. So this is from the first equation, which is this. dx by dt is equal to mu x, where x is the concentration of microbial biomass, t is the time, and mu is the specific growth rate. Okay. The second equation is dh by dt is equal to mu h, where h is my total hyphal length. So this second equation here tells us the कितने टाइम में कितना हाइफा जो है वो ग्रो हो रहा है. And dA by dt is equal to mu A, where A is the number of growing tips. Again, differential with respect to time. So everywhere you can see it is differential with respect to time t. Clear? So कितने टाइम में कितना इंक्रीज हो रहा है, that is all what we are predicting. Okay. Now, if I have a submerged culture or shake flask culture, a mycelial organism may grow as a dispersed hyphal fragment or as pellets. मतलब क्या? What is my shake flask culture? I take a 500 ml का flask, उसमें I add 200 ml medium, I add some spores and keep it on a shaker. So what will happen is my shaker will swirl the medium, right? And in doing so, these hyphae will entangle with themselves and form pellets. Okay. Now these pellets will grow exponentially until the density of pellet results in the diffusion limitation. Now what is diffusion limitation? Is this. I have a pellet. Generally जो pellet होते हैं, those are oval in shape like this. Okay. Now what is happening here is this. पहला जो हाइफा बाउंड हुआ वो ये है अंदर वाला. ठीक है. लेट अस कलर इट. सो ये जो अंदर वाला है दैट इज माय फर्स्ट हाइफा. ठीक है. उसके बाद एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ की वजह से पेलेट के ऊपर ही सब कुछ जो है वो ग्रो हो रहा था. एंड इवेंचुअली व्हाट हैपेंस इज द हाइफे जो है वो इतने ज्यादा टाइटली इंटरवाइंड हो जाते हैं कि ये जो अंदर का सबसे पहला ऑर्गेनिज्म था, इट स्टार्ट्स टू डाई बिकॉज देयर इज नो ऑक्सीजन और न्यूट्रिएंट्स अवेलेबल टू इट. Why is it so? Because this thing is so tightly wound that there is no diffusion. Okay. There is no diffusion, therefore we call it as diffusion limitation conditions. So this is the point where diffusion limitation occurs. Under such limitations, the central biomass of the pellet will not receive any nutrients and therefore will potentially diffuse out toxic products. मतलब क्या? तुम्हारा जो pellet है वो अंदर से बाहर की तरफ मरने लगेगा. Okay, and once decay starts, again the biochemistry of your medium, the entire process changes. Okay. Now the growth of the pellet proceeds from the outer shell of the biomass, which is actively in growing zone. So what is happening here? This orange thing has died. Okay. This blue thing is alive. So the pellet will keep on growing from the outside, but as a result, the inside of it will start to die. Okay. It is possible for new pellets to be generated by the fragmentation of old pellets. Thus, the behavior of pelleted culture may be intermediate between exponential and the cube root growth. Okay, exponential मतलब 1 का 2, 2 का 4, 4 का 6, और cube root growth मतलब this fragmentation. Basically, cube root मतलब fragmentation हो रहा है. ठीक है. Whether the organism is unicellular or mycelial, the foregoing equations predict that the growth will continue indefinitely. Okay, so all these equations tell me that growth will go on for indefinite amount of time. However, when I do the same experiment practically, after say a point in time, the growth stops or decreases. Okay. Why? Because of the lack of nutrients and because of the increase in the toxicity of the medium. Thus, after a certain time in growth rate of the culture decreases until the growth ceases. Okay. Now, this cessation may be due to depletion of some essential nutrients in the medium or because of the phototoxicity. Okay. The nature of the limitation of growth may be explored by growing the organism in the presence of the range of substrate concentration and plotting the biomass concentration at stationary phase against the initial substrate concentration as shown in figure 2.2, which is this. Okay. This is the effect of initial substrate concentration of biomass concentration on the onset of stationary phase in batch culture. Okay. So ये जो ग्राफ है ये तुमको ऑर्गेनिज्म का बिहेवियर दिखा रहा है एट स्टेशनरी phases. Okay. Now look here. From A to B, there is an increase in the initial substrate concentration, which gives a proportional increase in the biomass production at stationary phase. Okay, the situation may be described by this equation, which is X is equal to Y SR minus S. Okay, where X is the concentration of biomass produced, Y is the yield factor, SR is the initial substrate concentration, S is the residual substrate concentration. So basically यहाँ पर हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हमारा जो ओरिजिनल प्लॉट था, ग्रोथ कर्व था, उसमें जो स्टेशनरी फेज थी, उस स्टेशनरी फेज को हम एक्सपांड कर रहे हैं और देख रहे हैं कि हमारा जो ऑर्गेनिज्म है वो किस तरह से स्टेशनरी फेज में जो है वो बिहेव करता है. सो इट कैन बी सीन इन स्टेशनरी फेज ऑल्सो. इनिशियल कॉन्सेंट्रेशन जितना है उसमें भी वो A to B पहले इंक्रीज होता है नंबर ऑफ सेल्स, उसके बाद फिर वो स्टेशनरी कंडीशन पे जाता है. ओके. Over the period of A to B, this small s, which is my residual substrate concentration, is equal to 0. क्यों? क्योंकि अभी तक ऑर्गेनिज्म ने मेरा सबस्ट्रेट यूटिलाइज करना शुरू नहीं किया है, तो मुझे पता नहीं है कि कितना अमाउंट ऑफ ये बचा है. ओके. So what is happening here actually is this. We are trying to find out what is called as a yield factor or yield coefficient, which is my Y. Now here there are two variables. One is the biomass concentration. Second is the substrate concentration. Okay. So what are we saying is, अगर मुझे इतना ग्राम बायोमास पर ग्राम ऑफ सबस्ट्रेट मिल रहा है, तो कितना मुझे सबस्ट्रेट डालना चाहिए, या okay, let me put it in some another words. So my equation here, where is my equation? First, let me clean this up. Okay.
Ma'am, can you please present your screen?
Oh, sorry. I'll present it. I forgot. Okay, can you see now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So my equation here is X is equal to X is equal to Y. What is happening? Y S R minus S. Okay. For this S, I'm going to write SI. And SR is my. Okay. Basically, what we are looking here is for y. Okay, we are trying to find out my y. Y is my yield coefficient. Okay. Now in this case, there are two variables. One is my x, which is my mass. Okay, here. This is my x, this is concentration of biomass produced, and this is S, which is substrate utilized. Okay. So x is my concentration of biomass and S is the substrate utilized. Okay. तो बेसिकली हमें यहाँ ये देखना है कि अगर मेरे सिस्टम में से 10 मिनट्स के बाद 10 to the power 6 सेल्स है, ठीक है? तो कितना से मेरा सबस्ट्रेट है ग्लूकोज, वो कितना ग्लूकोज जो है वो यूटिलाइज करेंगे. दिस कैन बी फाउंड आउट यूजिंग दिस इक्वेशन. या फिर अगर मुझे देखना है कि मेरे पास 10 to the power 6 सेल्स है, ओके, इनिशियली मैंने से 100 mg ग्लूकोज डाला, ठीक है, 10 मिनट्स के बाद वहां पर 10 mg ग्लूकोज ही बचा है, तो मेरा यील्ड कोएफिशिएंट क्या है, राइट? सो हाउ इज माय इक्वेशन गोइंग टू लुक? My x is 10 to the power 6 equal to y. I have to find my y. So y in bracket 100 minus 10. Sorry, it is residual, right? Yes. Initial substrate minus residual substrate. So initial minus residual, that is my 10. From this equation, I can find out my yield coefficient. Matlab, what is my yield coefficient? It will tell me 90 milligrams glucose utilize करके मुझे कितना बायोमास मिला. समझा? So this yield coefficient, yes, okay. This yield coefficient is also written as capital Y और उसके सबस्क्रिप्ट में छोटा x slash छोटा s. Okay. So when you see anything, यहाँ पर सबस्क्रिप्ट सुपरस्क्रिप्ट का ये नहीं है, ऑप्शन नहीं है. It's not there. So what happens is, if you see any question which says y subscript x slash y s, it means that I'm talking about the yield coefficient with respect to concentration of biomass and the concentration of substrate. Okay, clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, our yield factor here is the measure of the efficiency of conversion of any one substrate into biomass, and it can be used to predict the substrate concentration required to produce a certain biomass concentration. मतलब अगर मेरे पास substrate का choice है ग्लूकोज, फ्रुक्टोज, लैक्टोज, सुक्रोज, ठीक है, और मुझे पता है कि मैंने इनिशियली 10 to the power 6 सेल्स डाले हैं, तो जब मुझे मेरा YXS पता चलेगा तब मैं बता सकती हूं कि मेरा सबसे ज्यादा यूटिलाइजेबल सबस्ट्रेट कौन सा है. ओके, फ्रॉम दीज 4 or 5, and then I can incorporate that substrate into my final fermentation process so that if my ultimate aim is the maximum production of biomass, then with the same amount I can have more numbers. मतलब 10 ग्राम ग्लूकोज यूटिलाइज करके अगर मुझे 10 to the power 6 सेल्स मिल रहे हैं और 10 ग्राम सुक्रोज यूज करके मुझे 10 to the power 3 सेल्स मिल रहे हैं, तो मैं कौन सा सबस्ट्रेट यूज करूंगी? यस पीपल स्पीक. I will use glucose, okay? Because I am getting more number of cells with same amount of substrate, okay? That is why it is important to know the yield factor for any substrate. Clear? Now we have...
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. However, it is important to appreciate that Y is not constant and it will change with respect to growth rate, pH, temperature and limiting substrate. So आपको हर स्टेप में फर्मेंटेशन के Y जो है वो फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा. Okay. Now the decrease in the growth rate and cessation of growth is obviously due to decrease in or depletion of the substrate. Now this decrease will be given by a relationship between mu and the residual growth limiting substrate, which is this equation. Now this equation here is very important. Okay. This equation is called as Monod's equation. Okay. It relates your mu, which is your growth rate, to max, mu max and substrate, residual substrate concentration. Okay. So now here we can see mu is equal to mu max S divided by Ks plus S, where S is the residual substrate concentration. Okay. And Ks is the substrate utilization constant, numerically equal to the substrate concentration when mu is the half of mu max and is a measure of affinity to the organism for its substrate. So basically Monod's equation हमको क्या बोलता है कि तुम्हारा जो ग्रोथ रेट है किसी भी ऑर्गेनिज्म का, इट विल डिपेंड अपॉन द रेसिडुअल सबस्ट्रेट कॉन्सेंट्रेशन. मतलब तुम्हारे सबस्ट्रेट में कौन सा, तुम्हारे फर्मेंटेशन में कौन सा सबस्ट्रेट है, और it will also depend upon the substrate concentration, utilization constant. मतलब कितने मिनट में मेरा कितना जो है सबस्ट्रेट यूटिलाइज हो रहा है. मतलब every minute is my organism using 2 units of glucose or 3 units of glucose or 10 units of glucose. That is my Ks. Am I clear? Say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So with this, we are going to stop for the day.